right, so this is what we wrote when Piper was serving us at Chewy's today. We wrote some of it. Chapter 68. The loaded bags and crates rolled down the conveyor slowly. Jed stood over and watched hundreds of bar-coded sticky tickets on the steel mesh covering of the military gear, each packed inside very square crates. Everything from medical supply kits to canteens and camo gear, all wrapped in see-through plastic and wired mesh. There were thermal goggles packed in square cardboard boxes, military-style mini drones about the size of a beach ball, all packed in various boxes from the size of a shoebox to a gym bag to a suitcase. Each military item disguised as a plain old merchandise like tennis shoes or household supplies. Everything was rolling down the conveyor as something else. All of it was for the killing of the dwarf's enemy. Many police officers would never wake up on Dog Night Out. The dwarf was preparing a revolution for the pigs. Now the items that would drain their blood or outsmart their piggy wits was slowly moving down a long gray and white and black dusty conveyor inside a warehouse on the outskirts of Fairbanks, Alaska. Winter was at its height, and snow piled up along the warehouse walls and steps and double car garage entrance. Okay, so I need to cut that in. Right there. Got kind of Cormac McCarthy right there. Double car garage entrance made of steel and tin and grease. We'll say truck. Yeah, truck is better. More ignorant the better. And steps and double truck garage entrances made of steel and tin and greased. Greased doesn't like greased. Let's move that over there. We could leave it that way if we want. It'll fight. Greased with WD-40 and oiled with black gold, all to make the rolling doors quietly open for the various drivers for pickup. These docks had been used even during the Great Wars to help soldiers prepare to defend or kill the Russian or Jap. Let's move this way. There we go. The Russian, okay, so we're going to change the level of that. So we say the Nazi or Jap, or later during the Cold War, the Russian. And much later, the Korean. And much later in waiting, the Jew from Israel. Israel is actually spelled Israel, and I'm coming for you, Mark, you and your brother. So you better help me along the way, or I'll come over you. In my fantasy novel, these docks had been used even during the Great Wars to help soldiers prepare to defend or kill the Nazi or Jap, or later during the Cold War, the Russian. So on this one right here, we're going to go like this. Put the comma back here. Nazi or Jap, or later during the Cold War, the Russian. We're going to go like this, ... And much later, the Korean, and much later in eating. This is, we're changing eating. You can see it now, eating. Watch this. Changed it. Later, during the Cold War, the Russian would be targeted. I don't want people writing this. Yeah, the docks had been used even during the Great Wars to help soldiers prepare to defend or kill the Nazi or Jap, or later during the Cold War, the Russian would be targeted, and much later the Korean, and much later in waiting, the Jew from Israel. Okay, so they're going to form in Israel right now because there's no Jews in Israel. There's only Christians. So the real Jew is going to basically form pretty soon. There are no Jews right now. Most of them were killed during World War II. Jed did not smoke that morning. He carried the yellow pack of American spirits in his right breast pocket in a Western-style shirt with white ivory buttons. Over the white shirt and yellow pack was a leather coat with silver zippers that jangled when he walked. He once wore it as a Jimi Hendrix impersonator in Seattle when he had to hustle for a single $1 or $2 or $20 or $80 or a Benji at night. Okay, what's important is right here in Seattle in the 90s. We're going to write 1990s like that. This would be the word, that was 666. We changed it to early right here. Over the white shirt and yellow pack was a leather coat with silver zippers that jangled when he walked. He once wore it as a Jimi Hendrix impersonator in Seattle in the early 1990s when he had to hustle for a single dollar or two or 20 or 80 or a binge at night. Now, we are going to address an issue that's important right here. Jimmy never wore one like that, but the crowd never knew the difference. Most were ignorant weed smokers and heavy drug addicts, because they're about the same. Yeah. Now the word ignorant is about like right here. So let's look. Jimmy never wore one like that, but the crowd never knew the difference. Most were ignorant weed smokers and heavy drug addicts. So the crowd never knew the difference from a rock and roll impersonator. Okay, I got it. From a rock and roll impersonator. Okay. So Jimmy never wore one like that, but the crowd never knew the difference from a rock and roll impersonator. Most wore ignorant weeds. Most wore long fake wigs. Well, what do they wear though? Long, thick, black, wild wigs. Jed grew his hair out long and dyed it and frizzed it because he was method about playing Jimmy. The onlookers and passer-bys and even audience grew ignorant. So we're going to go passer-bys and fix that in a minute. The onlookers and passer-bys and even audience grew ignorant. Okay, we'll get into the weed smokers in a minute right here. I know they're tearing their hair out. Now, the onlookers and passer-bys, we're going to have to figure that out. And even the audience grew ignorant weed smoke. Okay, even the audience grew ignorant. Most of Jed's fans were weed smokers and heavy drug addicts. They knew him by name from his Hendrix days to Cobain ways. So passerby still didn't like me. So the onlookers and passerbys, we're gonna experiment with passerbys. Try 1S and see if that likes it. Nothing. Nah, it's not gonna be 1S, but the onlookers and passerbys, I think it's actually like that, maybe. I know that they've used that in rock and roll songs, passerbys. Elliott Smith talked about, I'm not going to make him impersonate Elliott Smith. This will be a raw footage upload. The onlookers and passerbys, we'll have to find that anymore. She's pretty hot now. I wonder if Adam gets inside of her. I know she's got a boyfriend. She's communicated with me. That's Daphne. She's also known as Natalie Travels. She's actually talked about me. She's hot. She's from some of the areas. She's actually from, she's more California. I think she's from, Natalie's actually from San Francisco. Yeah, she's hot. You know what she has? She has the alcohol syndrome. It's right here in the eyes, right here. If you look right here with Natalie, turn this on right here. She doesn't mean any harm. But if you look like right here, where her eye is, right here. Right here. If you look right there, it goes flaps over. That means her mother drank when she was a little baby. It's flapped over right there. They're real hyper, and it's an alcohol syndrome problem. It's from the mother drinking while she was pregnant. That's her problem. That's why she's on YouTube. They're mostly cripples. She's got a cat just like me. But I don't know if she has a cat will. She might have. I haven't watched the show in a long time. They just sent it to me. She's got 7,000. Some Jew helped her. All right, so the onlookers and passerbys and even audience grew ignorant. Most of Jed's fans wore weed. Okay, most of wore rock shirts. We'll say rock. I just say rock shirts. From Bon Jovi to Rat. I think rats. We'll just, yeah, it changed it. Yeah, the G's will change it. Let's go like this right here. The onlookers and passerby. He doesn't like passerby. So that Jew doesn't like passerbys right here. Got this. We're gonna go like this right here. The onlookers and passerbys and even audience and even let's see, the onlookers and passersby and various crazy. Let's say just the word crazy. I like that word. I'm known as Crazy Cole. Now, the onlookers and passerbys and various crazy audience grew ignorant. Let's say crazy, youthful, fresh face. Audience grew more ignorant throughout his just say throughout his musical career as a electric guitarist and vocalist for various failed, say various fallen bands. Don't say failed, say fallen. The onlookers and passerbys and various crazy, youthful, fresh-faced audience grew more ignorant throughout his musical career as electric guitarist and vocalist for various fallen bands. Most died of overdoses or of the extreme elements of northern life, as the cold or strong winds or ashen air because of the smoke. So the onlookers and passersby and various graceful, youthful, fresh-faced audience grew more ignorant throughout his musical career as an electric guitar. Career. Jed survived as an electric guitarist and vocalist for various fallen bands and traveled across the western sea shores or something like that from the border of Mexico back up to Canada because he ends up in Alaska. So the onlookers and passerbys and various graceful, youthful, fresh-faced audience grew more ignorant throughout his musical career. Jed survived as an electric guitarist and vocalist for various fallen bands and traveled across the western seashore from the border of Mexico back up to Canada. He's got this right there. Most died of overdose. Most of his fans. So most of Jed's fans. Just put fans. Most of Jed's fans died of overdose because, like, Sun Kill Moon watches over me because I'm one of their big fans. So most of Jed's fans died of overdose or even extreme elements of northern life. Look at one of his bands. Look at one of his bands were called. I don't know if I read all of this. I might have read it or not, but anyway, this is all this part if I didn't read it. One of his bands were probably called, I don't know if they were called Dog Night Out, but that sounds like a band. One of his bands had a crazy name. Where is it? Oh, it's way down here. We'll get to it in a minute. I don't know. It's there, though. I know it's there. It's a crazy name, though. It's really cool. It's called the Candlesticks. Yeah, it'll come up in red. Yeah, right there. One of his bands is called Candlesticks. Mr. Candlesticks and the Litter Beatboxes. Oh, wait, hang on. The Litter Beat. Where does it say litter? It says litter right down here. Litter Beatbox. There we go. Litter Beatbox Boys. Put it with a Z, like Boys in the Hood. So one of his bands were called Mr. Candlesticks and the Litter Beatbox Boys. They probably did beatbox while he sang and stuff. You know how crazy they are in Seattle. Brad Pitt's laughing. They got crazy bands, man, in Oregon and all kinds of. So this is him on the conveyor. Well, he's not on the conveyor, but he's inside a warehouse. Passerbys, a various crazy youthful, fresh-faced audience grew more ignorant throughout his musical career. Jed survived as an electric guitarist and vocalist for various fallen bands, traveled across the western seashore from border of Mexico back up to Canada. Most of Jed's fans died of overdoses or even the extreme elements of northern life as the cold or strong winds or ashen air. Look at this right here. Robbed souls. We're going to change rob to steal because it's two S's. Okay. Got it. You're going for that spelling, huh, Bobby? Right here, Mexico, back up to Canada. Most of Jed's fans died of overdose. Most writers write for a circle, or even extreme elements of northern life, as the cold or strong winds or ashen air stole away. That. Stole away is like stole and then away. Like that. Now, one thing cool right here is most of Jed's fans wore rock shirts from Bon Jovi to rap to oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah. Diamond. They're called Diamond Head. Various nuts. There we go. Most. There we go. The word is most right here. So Javi, Diamond Head, various nuts, most weed. So right here, most Seattle, various Seattle nuts, like this, Seattle. Just be real curt with them, yeah. Most Jed's fans wore rock shirts from Bon Jovi to Rat to Diamond Head, various Seattle nuts. Most weed smokers and heavy drug addicts. They knew him by name. So instead of him, say this right here. Because that him could be Satan. So right here, there we go. They knew Jed by name from his Hendrix days to Cobain ways. He once wore it as a Jimi Hendrix impersonator. Okay, so what did he wear? He once wore it. He once wore a thick wig. You say thick black wig. Thick black. Maybe go this way. Go this way. Go right here. Go thick black wig. Say wiry. The word is wiry. And then wig. Go this way. Grab this over here, like that. He once wore a thick black wiry wig as a Jimi Hendrix impersonator in Seattle in the early 1990s when he had to hustle for a single $1 or $2 or $20 or $80 or a Benji a night. He once learned all of Jimmy's riffs and could play them with his Gibson handheld amp with his wig and wit. Now he was a true militia fighter for Rib. The revolution okay, so now we're gonna go to the right just right here. Go this way. I hope I know you to death. Hope you take a gun and blow your head off. Right here he says this. He once got this. We're gonna go Z. Watch this. We're gonna fight back. Hit Command and Z. We got it. We're gonna learn to fight. So Benji at night, $1 or $2 or $20 or $80 or a Benji a night. Okay, we're gonna go this way. We're going to say this right here. Now we're going to go this way. We're going to go like this right here. It's going to fight. Fight. Go this way. Go here. I'm showing you who I really am. Now he was a true militia fighter. Okay, now the word is Jed. Jed was a true militia fighter for RIB, the Revolutionary Independent Branch. Okay. The word is Alaska was his new home. He protected his boys that shot straight and true. They could handle grenade or Macmillan or HK. And if they don't get it, they give a shit. Now Jed was a true militia fighter for RIB, the Revolutionary Independent Branch. Alaska was his new home. He protected his boys that shot straight and true. Miss the word true? The Jews will get into your head. You have to learn to eliminate the Jew. That's one of his lines. He protected his boys that shot straight and true, but it'll never be written, and could handle grenade or Macmillan or HK, because I don't own Penguin, that's why. That was his God now. Okay? Music once ruled his life, and so did Seattle and Olympia, and he cruised around in his GMC van, living before front yards and mansions and old RV lots. At one point in his musical career, as a bi-level hair rocker, he lived in a studio apartment about 80 miles from where Kurt Cobain met his end. He remembered waking up in his studio and feeding his gerbil Nutsy and reading the thrown paper at hid door and hid door the headlines read. Why did I say and reading the thrown paper? Doors. Okay. It's very poetic. Do this right here. There we go. We'll get to that right now. Reading the thrown paper, it hid doors. The headlines read. He read the paper and then went to the Radio Shack computer. Okay. Okay. I see. Nirvana. Okay, I see. Nirvana lead singer found dead with shotgun and needle in his arm. We'll just say that, even though it didn't say that, we'll lie. That way Nirvana can sue me. The headlines read, okay, and then we're gonna go this right here. Go right here. Yeah, I'd love to fucking pound Grohl's fucking face. The headline read, Nirvana lead singer found dead with shotgun and needle in his arm. Now, instead of shotgun and needle, we're going to say lead singer. We're going to capitalize on this. Lead and then singer. And then found dead, like that. Change dad to dead. Nirvana lead singer found dead with shotgun and needle. Okay. So on found, we're going to capitalize on found. Capitalize on dead. Capitalize on with. Capitalize on shotgun. And we're going to ampersand it. Fire, fire, fire. Do not aim. Do not aim. Just fire, fire, fire. Right here. Command and Z. We're going to learn to fight. Go this way right here. Move out this way. Go this way. Boom. The headlines read, Nirvana lead singer found dead with shotgun and needle in his arm. So in, right here, they can sue. Because this is fiction. They'll lose. The judge will laugh at Grohl. Laugh at his shaggy hair. Nirvana lead singer found dead with shotgun and needle in his arm. He read the paper and then went to his Radio Shack computer and got on net zero. Okay. The word is then. He probably ate a 16-ounce steak every night, he wrote. Then dial-up scratched and hissed and beeped and blinked. And then the wired to the wall. Wired to the wall. Dial-up modem. The word is modem. Modem. There we go. Then, he can't keep up with you. Right, he doesn't know my rhythm. Listen, Grohl would die immediately. So would Kurt Cobain if they came around you. Then, those angels would die. Then the wired to the wall dial-up modem scratched and hissed and beeped and blinked as the news popped. Almost the same as today's news. Here we go. We're going to set this up as a raw footage upload. April 8, 1994, Kurt Cobain, the lead singer and guitarist of the American rock band Nirvana, was found dead at his home on Lake Washington Boulevard in Seattle, Washington. Forensic investigators and a coroner later determined that Cobain had died on April 5th, 3 days prior to the discovery of his body. Get rid of that lynch right there. Go up this way. Get rid of that lynch. Boom. Get rid of that lynch. The Seattle Police Department incident reported state that Cobain was found with a shotgun across his body, had suffered a visible gunshot wound to the head, and that a suicide note had been discovered nearby. Seattle police confirmed his death as a suicide. And then we're going to do this right here, just real quick. It's a message to Kurt Cobain, who's dead, and his friend, his gay friend, David Grohl. Watch. LOL. It's just a message to them only. They keep it in the original print, and they keep it in the original print. That means they're true to the print. No periods to the front or the back. It's going to go in a weird spot. It's a signature piece. Okay. That morning, over 30 years ago, a hero of Jed's offered. Now here, we're going to do an ampersand, because ampersand represents Satan. We're going to go here, and then the word ha. Ha and ha. Just like that. That morning, over 30 years ago, a hero of Jed's offed himself with a double-barreled shotgun and left a needle and a note. We're going to lie right here. Jed found the note, and it simply read, laugh out loud, LOL, will rule Satan's kingdom. And, ampersand, ha, 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 ha. my gun was real. Okay, now when we do this right here, this is the part of the lie that needs to be there, so it'll sell. Jed found the note and it simply read like this right here. We're gonna put it in quotes. And then look, dash, watch this. Kurt Cobain. I have left you, bitch. That's how he spelled his name. He spelled it with a C. Laugh out loud, laugh out rule. So he knew, look. He knew it was Kurt and not Kurt Cobain, like Kurt Vile. The note was changed to the following. Now, what we're going to do is move over this way. So what we're doing is we're putting a lie down there to sell money. This is all to sell money. We're only writing this book to make money. Now, right here, we're going to put down here, Kurt, like this. He spelled his name with a C. Kurt Cobain. I know he spelled it with a C. All of them do. No one still spells it with a K. Not even Kurt Vile. Kurt Cobain's suicide note, which will be in the book. So right here, it's right here. So we're going to Genius right here. And we're going to this right here. Okay, that way people will have it and it'll go through on publication. To Bada. We're going to go all the way this way and see if we can, yeah, there we go. So it's fighty fight. We're going to fighty fight with this right here. And bring it all the way up this way. Ooh, fighty fight. We're going to grab this right here, do a little bit of fighty fight. If I annoy you and you blow your head off, that means you watch too much of my vlog. Now go this way, go here, and go just like here. We're going to go all the way this way. It'll fight, it'll fight, it'll fight, it'll fight, it'll fight. Go this way, go here, fight this way, bring down this way, go this way, go over here, go this way, right here. The note was changed to the following. Go here to Command and V, because he was murdered. Kurt Cobain was murdered, and so was my sister. Right here, what you're going to do is you're going to go this way and fight this way right here, because we're going to fight. Now move this way, this way. If what's his name? His name is Dave Grohl. The U.S. Marshals will arrest him if he tries to do anything. The U.S. Marshals will kill him in his sleep. They're probably already outside of his house right now, because they could have killed Teresa. What's his name? His name is what's his name? Yeah, they could have killed my sister. His name is, he's got a weird name. He wrote a bestseller. His name is Dave Grohl. Yeah, he's insane. He's a schizophrenic that worked with Nirvana. He's a drummer and a schizophrenic. He's got a horrible manic depressive. He takes a bunch of drugs. He has a van. He probably killed your sister. Move over this way. Go over this way. Got a lot of work right here. We're going to leave it this way because I know things get published like this. Plus, we know that letter has been written. So we're just going to leave it like this. Got this. Go right over here. They do this so you can't do it. So how you change it is you go like this. You grab it right here. See spit coming out of my mouth. You go right here. Boom. You go like this. And boom. Go this way right here. Now, say spit. Just like this shining. Now go this way. Go dot, 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 dot. Bring this over this way. And bring it all the way up that like that. Right there. Now watch. Take this and go like this. Okay. Now take this and then go like this, which is subheading. Okay. You do that. That's how you write a novel. So we know what he said. And it goes like this. Bother. Speaking from a tongue of experienced simpleton who obviously would rather be a masculine thing. You want to be a writer. Complaining the note should be pretty easy to understand. All the warnings from Punk Rock 101 course over the years since my first introduction to the, shall we say, ethics involving independence and embracement of the community. I'm a fucking fact. We got it. All right, so he did all this fucking weird shit and sucked Dave Grohl's dick, blah, blah, blah. The world would change, and years later, Jed would transform into Kurt and impersonate him in a band called Mr. Candlesticks and the Litter Beatbox Boys. Mr. Candlesticks played many Nirvana covers and traveled from Seattle to Olympia and followed the footsteps of Kurt. Eventually, they'd break up, and Jed would take off listening to the entire album. Now, the reason why Dave Grohl gets mad is because Dave Grohl worships Satan. He doesn't want a Christian to have a single penny. And Dave Grohl will burn in the 9th level. He will be either JQ or RB. I will point at the lake of fire, and I'll say, you jump into the lake of fire. And he'll say, you don't tell me what to do. And I'll say, I didn't tell you, my Messiah did. And Dave Grohl will just right into the lake of fire. He'll dissolve in a cross dissolve, point 2. Now, the world changed, and years later, Jed would transform into Kurt and impersonate him in a band called Mr. Candlesticks and the later Beatbox Boys. Mr. Candlesticks played many Nirvana covers and traveled from Seattle to Olympia and followed the footsteps of Kurt. Eventually, they'd break up, and Jed would take off listening to the entire album of R.E.M's Automatic for the People or Nirvana's Nevermind, all the way to Fairbanks. We're going to add this little thing this Catholic French girl taught me. Boom, right there. All the way to Fairbanks to buy Buddy heater and diesel oil to live through the harsh winter elements. We're going to get kind of out in the woo and put winter elements right here. Elements, just like that. Hope I annoy you and you put a gun to your head and blow your head off just like a brother. He'd get a few jobs in the fishing industry and pay all his bills in a week. Jed would stay living in the van. He was a van dweller and still lives in it now as one of the head snipers of the RIB militia unit. Now he stared at the moving boxes containing danger and war and hatred and love, medical to bullet, rolled before him in a box and bag. Now, when we say medical to bullet, to the brave needle, and the poppy, and the fet. They'll just have to figure out what fet is, because that's what Grohl's going to take. It's called fentanyl. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to change it to fet. Now we're going to do parentheses like this. We're going to move this down over this way, because Dave Grohl's going to kill himself. Fentanyl is like that, and it kills. We're going to find it right here. It's fent. So it's fentanyl, 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 fent, 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 fenta, 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 fentanyl. And we're going to move it over this way. We got the word for it. Roll before him in a box and bag. The box followed behind the mesh-covered bags. Each box had a round cat face on it. So that round cat face is the same as Critter. Okay. Now what this is right here, the same as Critter that hangs from your rear view. Live and smell good. It doesn't really smell that, but it is actually, it's live and laugh. There you go, Dave Grohl, you faggot. Live, laugh, and smell. Let's fight. Let's fight. We'll learn to fight. The boxes followed him in the mesh-covered bags. Each box had a round cat face on it, the same as Critter that hangs. We're going to capitalize on Critter. And we're going to say he's orange, even though he's not. I know I'm wrong. The orange, and it's going to be bubbly-eyed. Even though it's not, they'll understand. They'll get it eventually. No one writes as good as me. No one can. They don't have the mind. Bubbly, bubbly, bubbly-eyed. The word is eyed. It goes like that. The same as orange, bubbly-eyed Critter that hangs from your rear view. Live, laugh, and smell good. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of the colon, which most writers don't. We're going to go right here, and boom. Live, laugh, and smell good. Hold it. The conveyor stopped, and Jed stuck an American Spirit cigarette in his mouth. Now we got to make sure the audience knows where he's at. Now he was in a militia on a warehouse. Now he grew up and was in a militia within a warehouse searching for weaponry in box and crate. Got it right there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Keep it going. Doesn't matter. Hold it. The conveyor stopped, and Jed stuck an American spirit and it unlit in his mouth. Now he grew up and was a militia within a warehouse searching for weaponry in box and crate. He chewed on the filter and watched the merchandise move down the dark, gritty, and musty conveyor belt. The boxes were designed for delivery and held prepackaged military weapons. The mini HKMP-7A1 submachine guns and Macmillan TAC-50C sniper rifles rolled along the conveyor in silver black steel cases. Okay, now when I say covered and sealed, I think the word is like this. I could be wrong. We'll go back and find it. Covered and sealed in silver and black steel cases, loaded with styrofoam peanuts and gray sponge padding. Loaded carefully is the word. So it'd be carefully loaded. So it's carefully stuffed and loaded. Okay. The word is not cuffed, it's stuffed. Don't worry. All your enemies will be cuffed. TAC-50 sniper rifles rolled along the conveyor. They'd rather me kill all the people in the world, okay, than me have one successful book for the New York Times. Ask Dave Grohl. He'd rather all the Jews die, all the black people die a miserable death. He'd let all the Mexicans die a miserable death. He'd make all the Mexicans die a miserable death. He'd make all the black people die a miserable death. He'd make all the Jews die a miserable death than me have a bestseller in New York Times. Ask Dave Grohl. The mini HKMP-7A1 submachine guns and Macmillan TAC-50C sniper rifles rolled along the conveyor covered and sealed in silver and black steel cases, carefully stuffed and loaded with styrofoam peanuts and gray sponge padding. Jed removed a packed case of one of the HK submachine guns and checked the barcode with his hands held scanner and verified the order and then texted the dwarf. It's good. He took the case and rolled the numbers to 000 and then thumbed the latch and top popped and air hissed out, and he opened the case and the hinges squeaked. Jed opened the case and removed the submachine gun and dry cocked it and blew into the crown of the barrel and then cocked it back and then checked the security of the straps and then turned it flat and then right side up and then upside down and removed the clip and blew in the end where the bullets were to be uploaded and then reinserted the clip and reinserted the submachine gun back in the case and then snapped the lid shut. Just for texture, he tossed a sticky fallen peanut styrofoam to the side, and it stuck to the dust stained concrete below. No one can write like me. No one has the mind. No one has the mind. He tossed the sticky fallen peanut styrofoam to the side, and it stuck to the dusty. Okay, so whenever he says he tossed the sticky fallen, he's tossed a single sticky fallen away. We're gonna make this word up right here. Fallen away. Okay, fallen aside. Okay, make that stick out. He tossed a single sticky fallen aside peanut styrofoam to the side, and it stuck to the dust-stained concrete below. They'll read this in school. It's good. Jed did this for a good 3 hours, checking all the cases filled with submachine guns and Macmillan sniper rifles. The dwarf sent him a barcode in the text, and he was to remove 15 submachine guns and 15 Macmillan 50 caliber rifles, and then check the cases and scan the 30 weapons. Here it is. It's sniper rifles. And sealed scopes. Just make that general. And submachine guns and 15 Macmillan 50 sniper rifles, caliber sniper rifles, and sealed scopes, and then check the cases and scan the 30 weapons, and then secure them in his GMC van and drive off with Poopy and Droopy. Good, Jed verified to himself again. The dwarf sent him another message that read, verify all 100 cases. You're gonna do ... Verify all 100 cases and make sure the smoke grenades have been ordered and delivered, and here's the code. Properly. Check code dusted in text. Okay, so dusted is actually a code for how it's printed. And all of this right here is going to be in something. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. Okay. Smoke grenades have been ordered and delivered. Check code dusted in text properly, and check all barcodes and send the entered, checked, and verified order. Send it, just roll with it. Jed put his index finger and his thumb into his mouth. Sometimes we text stuff too quick. And we're going to make that note right here. This is going to be the note right here. The dwarf never made that many errors when texting. Maybe some of it was in code. Jed thought. Okay. Jed put his index and his thumb into his mouth and then whistled. Okay, so we don't need and right there. We need to go like this right here. All the cops will die in one night. We know this. Poopy's ears rose up and Droopy woke from his coma sleep in the back of Jed's GMC van. Poop ran down his leg and he smelled like feces as usual. Why don't he hurry up? Why don't he hurry it up, Droopy? Okay, so the verisimilitude spoke. It's not verisimilitude. It's called, it's what WBH used. It's called the Spiritus Mundi. Why don't ye, it's going to be the word ye. Why don't ye hurry, and it's going to be easy up. So he talks weird. Why don't you hurry easy up, Droopy? Droopy did not answer and looked into the side mirror. He got to check the barcodes on the guns. Make guns with a Z. Click this. That are arriving. Make arriving without the G. Make it with the G. He get the keep 30 15 snipers. He got. It's like this. Got. Like that. And then one of them has an H like that. And then a GH like that. He got to keep the 30 of them, 15 snipers and 15 submachine guns. Droopy said as his eyes were barely open and his lids nearly fell shut. He has a sleeping disorder. I don't have to explain it. I can show it. Droopy said as his eyes were barely open and his lids nearly fell shut. Okay? We're going to be specific because people like Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl is basically, he's a college asshole professor. Drooper said as his eyes were barely open and his eyelids, okay, we're going to do eyelids like this, nearly fell shut. So we have to rewrite it and stuff for asshole college professors. What do we need with the 15 sniper rifles and subs? We're going to increase the size of our unit. How? We need a question mark for the asshole college professors, the English majors. I don't know yet. Jed hadn't told me. Be quiet, he coming. Okay. Be quiet, he coming. We're going to take it and look. We're doing that because the college professors don't understand that. Right there, there's a reason why, because the G is hit. It's going to be a double G like this. Because they're special. Okay. Jed arrived with one of the submachine guns and handed it to Poopy. Look, a college professor, none of the college professors know anything about the English language. They know nothing about it. Poopy turned to the side and removed the clip and then looked into the barrel. So it's a submachine gun. So what? We're going to change these two right here. Only on this one right here, we're going to go like that. Only on that one. The rest of them, we're going to leave it alone just to make them mad. Check it again. I did it. Okay, this right here is the word id. We are going to change it to lowercase on looks, and we're going to go like that. We're going to change the S to a Z. I did. It looks clean. Okay, I wanted a second option, a second opinion, more like it. That's a misspell. That's a misspoken. He misspeaks right there. A second opinion, more like it. I'm the only one that understands dialogue in this whole world. A second opinion, more like it. It's like this. I guess he wants us all to have the HKs. We get 15 of them and 15 of Chris Kyle. I'm too young. Chris Kyle's type. The Macmillan Droopy said. Yep. Jed took a pretend drag off his unlit American Spirit from the yellow pack. 15 of them. Don't worry, everyone's gross, Jed said, putting away his unlit cigarette back into the yellow pack. You smell like piss and shit. Poopy. So? Poopy adjusted his butt. You could do better. So? I shit myself. That's why you found me in the dumpster. No shit, Jed said, starting the GMC and backing up on the steep incline to the warehouse dock. The van crossed over the small ramp and into the flat, clean concrete floor of the warehouse storage area, where the unknown military weapons were purposely forgotten in Fairbanks, Alaska, near the largest frozen lake in that area of the cold north. Jed drove away with the 15 of the best submachine guns and 15 sniper rifles of the top caliber of any military around the world. All of it was hacked from the old ThinkPad laptop kept in Dwarf's basement near the well-known diner called Fairbanks. The night before, the Dwarf overran the encryption codes from Macintosh and broke into the military warehouse, kept about a mile from a nuclear silo that was kept under the ice and snow and wintry frozen rocks of a lost blonde pasture unknown to man. A place where Cain and Abel once wrestled before the first murder and the foundation of the good book. Goodbye.